Okay, ready? You gotta be in here. Okay, hello my beauties and welcome back to my channel. Yes, this is a very, very different setup, but we're going with it. Before I tell you what's happening, make sure to subscribe down below. It's easy. It's like a huge red button. You can't miss it. There's also a bell right next door that you can click if you would like to be notified every time I upload a new video. I upload every Friday and Sunday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. Also, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy videos like this one, perhaps. And if you do not, obviously leave a comment in the leave a comment down below so that maybe I can start making a video that like you suggest. So, you know, get in on the, planning. Let's go. Jonathan, what are we doing today?
We're at Disney.
No. No.
I'm really excited. Stop. We are at Barnes & Noble. Not an unusual place for us to be. But what we are doing here is essentially I'm going to be picking out a book for her that I think she will enjoy to read. No pressure at all.
So basically, Jonathan is going to be picking up my book today, and then I'm going to be vlogging myself reading it, and my thoughts, my reactions, my, judgment. But that is what we're doing today. So we are going to go into Barnes & Noble so that Jonathan can pick out a book for me. I'm very excited. Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm excited.
We're going to go, and we're going to take you guys along. Okay, so we were in there for probably like 30 minutes, and Jonathan went through a lot of different books, and every single book he picked up, I actually have been wanting to read, so that was really cool, which means he was picking right, which was very comforting for me, but Jonathan had a book in his hand, and then as we were leaving, they have like the buy one get one half off books that are like on the table, and one of those actually caught Jonathan's eye.
I was gonna get, correct me, I already forgot the name, Children of Blood and Bone, which looked like a really interesting book. I've looked at it myself before and wanted to read it, just because it sounds so interesting. That's my area of reading. I like fantasy, magical stuff, or sci-fi. So I was kind of like, I felt bad because I felt like I was going to get it because I liked it, and I don't know if it was going to be something Janelle would want to read, but she probably would have enjoyed it. But when we walked by the buy one get one half off section, she saw, spoilers, I'll just show you the half off one we got. We got Serpent and Dove, which is the second to a series she really likes.
It's the first.
This is the first? Oh, the Blood and Honey is the one I always think is the first. Well, anyway, so she can finally start this series. She's been wanting to start that one for a while. But there's a book I have seen another time I was in Barnes & Noble, which I was reading it, and it sounded neat. I liked it, but it wasn't really my cup of tea. And which is surprising because typically I do like stuff that has a lot of romance in it, but for some reason I was reading this one, I'm like, it's just not my cup of tea, but I think Janelle would really like it. So it's called Delirium. Here we are. It's super sparkly, so
tilt it down.
You have to do like the makeup thing, sorry.
No, you just tilt it down.
It's called Delirium by Lauren Oliver. Ooh, that's a cool name. And it's basically in an alternate reality where America has declared love to be a disease, and they cure people when they turn 18, 16 or 18, I can't remember. And so the protagonist in this story is turning, let's just say 18, I think that's the age, and so she's about to graduate and get the cure, but she happens to fall in love with someone before she has been cured for her disease of love. So it's kind of like, ooh, interesting. So it sounds like it could be either really cheesy and an absolute bomb of a book, bomb in a bad sense, or it could be really, really cool. But, you know, maybe Janelle can test out the waters for it, and if it's good, then I'll read it too.
It sounds really interesting. I actually saw this, like the cover caught my attention when I was looking at Serpent and Dove. I was like, oh, that looks cool. And then Jonathan had read it, like, not the book, but read the synopsis previously, and he was just kind of like, oh, I remember that book, and then ended up getting this one. But I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be really good. My plan is to start this, like, ASAP, so that I can get this vlog filmed. I'm hungry or something.
Yeah, you're on a lot.
I'm very tired.
Yeah.
So you're now going to go to get some food, Panda Express, and go back to Jonathan's house, and maybe I'll be able to start on some of this tonight.
That'd be fun.
But I also have to edit, so we'll see. But
and more importantly, excuse the crackling noises of a bag. I've been reading Scythe extremely slowly. I wish I could be reading it quicker. I've just been really busy. But I went ahead and gave myself some motivation to finish that book because I got the second of the series, Thunderhead, which is really exciting. I try not to look at the image because I feel like this already spoils some things for me. Seeing two people, I could take guesses of what that means, just knowing the characters. But I'm not going to say anything because maybe it just happens to be an image. You never know, right? Right? Anyways, I'm really excited to read this, so hopefully this will help me speed up on reading Scythe so I can get to the next book. So I can get to the next book, so then I can go to the other book I want to read.
Welcome to the reading world.
I'm really, really bad at reading. I read very slowly. My reading comprehension is like subpar, but I'm getting there.
Okay, so we're gonna go get some food because clearly I'm tired or something, and hungry, or I don't know.
Yeah,
so.
I love lunch at 5 o'clock. My favorite.
We'll see you guys maybe later today. Okay, so it has been a few days since me and Jonathan went to Barnes & Noble and picked up Delirium. So I have just read a chapter of this and I'm already super interested in it. So it's just explained basically why love is a disease in this alternate universe. And it says, this is like probably one of my favorite lines from this chapter, but it says, the deadliest of all deadly things, it kills you both when you have it and when you don't. So basically, the girl's talking about like different stories that she's heard of people dying, like they'd rather die than get the cure, which is like so that you don't love anymore. And then also people who don't find love will end up killing themselves because they want it so badly. And so I don't know, I just thought that was like a cool, I don't know, this is like a really interesting way to look at love. So, I don't know. I think it's going to be good. I hope it doesn't like start out good and then go cheesy. So I guess we'll see. But I'm going to read a little bit more of this. Me and Jonathan are going to do like a little date tonight and then do some reading. So, I'm going to get to it. Okay, so I don't know how I'm going to feel about this book because let me just give you some context, okay? I feel like I'm going to be doing this a lot throughout reading this book because it is supposed to be getting my reaction. So I'm literally on page 7 and we've just met Lena, I think is the main girl's name. Lena, I think it's Lena. Her little cousin, her name is Gracie, and she's 6 years old, and her mom, who's Lena's aunt, says that she's as dumb as a rock. And at first I was like, how do you say that about your own child? But the mom has the cure. So she doesn't love her own child. She's incapable of it. And so then we go down, and it says that's one of the downsides of the procedure is the absence of deliria nervosa, which is what they're calling love. Some people find parenting distasteful. Thankfully, cases of full-blown detachment where a mother or father is unable to bond normally, dutifully, and responsibly with his or her children and winds up drowning them or sitting on their windpipes or beating them to death when they cry are few. So, like, there's legitimate stories of parents killing their own children because they're incapable of loving them and they just frustrate them. So I'm like, okay, I hope there's not a lot of these moments in the book because I don't know if I'll be able to read this. Like, that, for me, as someone who, I mean, like, just wants to be a mom so bad, like, would never imagine doing that to anyone, especially my own child. So I think this is going to be really heavy and hard to read because that was, like, shocking, and like I'm sweating. I'm like physically sweating. So I hope that this is not like this the whole book, or I don't think I'm gonna make it. Okay, so it's been a little bit since I have updated you guys on where I'm reading. So I think I'm on page 170 something, I don't know. But this book just got like 10 times more intense and way more interesting. Like, something just happened that I really didn't expect. Like, so far I was like, okay, this is gonna be your typical, like, okay, got it. And it's not that way at all. It took a turn, okay? It took a turn. And I'm really, really excited. I'm just like completely caught off guard. Like, I did not expect that at all. And I'm like, okay. So far, Jonathan has done an amazing job picking out this book. So yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to update you guys on that really quick. Before I like forgot and didn't do that later. So yeah, so I'm headed to youth group, and I will, I guess, update you guys again when something else happens. Okay, so it is like 11:30 or 12 or something. It's late. And I am reading Delirium. I am on page 370, so I'm almost done. I have like 70 pages left. I think I'm just gonna finish it. I did want to give you guys an update. I am absolutely loving this book. Like, loving it. It's really catching me off guard, and it's not predictable at all, and I'm really, really enjoying it. I don't think I'm going to give any spoilers just in case somebody wants to read this, but so far Jonathan has done a pretty good job. But I'm going to finish this and then probably give you guys an update on it tomorrow. So yeah, I'm going to finish this and then go to sleep. I am shattered. I don't even know what to say or do. I know I said I was going to update you guys in the morning, but that was not supposed to happen. That was not supposed to happen. Now I'm really sad. Probably going to end up crying myself to sleep tonight. Oh, I'm so sad. Okay, I'm going to go to bed. I'll see you guys in the morning. Okay, so, yes, I'm in the same shirt as last night, okay? I literally just woke up. I am still, like, baffled. Like, this, okay, this is number one in a trilogy, okay? It's a trilogy. I didn't know that until halfway into this book when I was, like, looking at the back, and I was like, oh, more books by, you know, the author. And then it shows, like, the other three, or the other two, and I'm like, seriously? But this was fantastic. I mean, fantastic. Like, so good. My heart will forever be with Lena. I'm sorry, I just don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. It was a great read. I love the writing style. Like, Lauren Oliver, this was so easy to read. I felt like I could just fly through it. I loved the descriptions of nature around Lena all the time. The descriptors of sunsets and, you know, just like nature scenes around Lena. That was so, so awesome. It really brought like this beauty to this book, and I really, really loved it. As far as story and plot, it was insanely creative. I mean, it went like it wasn't just like this alternate United States where love was a disease. Like, she took it down to, like, instead of them having a Bible like us in the United States have, they had the book of shh. Like, it was literally SHHH, shh, okay? And it had, like, Psalms and Proverbs that you would read at the beginning of every chapter. Like, this italic was an excerpt either from the book of shh or from an article about, like, the disease, which they called nervosa deliria or something. I think that's what it was called. But, like, just insanely creative. Like, oh yeah, like right here, this one is a psalm. Is this Psalm 24? I don't know, like, it was just like, she took it all the way down to that, and then you hear Lena occasionally, sorry, I'm so tired, and then you hear Lena talking about how she learned about whatever in her biblical science class. So anything biblical was now used for science. It wasn't like this religious thing. And they talked about, like, she would bring up just different, like, stories in the Bible, and how, not like, it wasn't like a religious book at all. I feel like I'm making it sound like it's this religious thing, but there was at one point she brought up a story in the Bible, and I honestly can't even remember what the story was, but it was cool how she pointed out the signs and symptoms of this disease of love and how it eventually killed this person in the Bible. And you're just like, yes, that person died, and then you start to think about it and you're like, it all started with love. Like, everything she was pointing out about how it kills you or whatever, you know, it brings you to death. Every single time I was like, that's accurate. Like, it started with love. I don't know. There was, like, for me, there was no, like, holes and cracks in the story. Like, I was just, like, on board with it. And honestly, it, like, freaked me out, thinking, like, I really hope this doesn't happen to our world, because I'm a very lovey person, and there ain't no way I'm letting you take out a part of my brain that makes me incapable of loving. So there was just so many, like, twists too. Like, I don't know. I'm not gonna share too much about it, but I highly recommend this book. It was published in 2011, so this honestly, like, shocked me. Like, I didn't think it was that old. Like, this book is 10 years old, but it is so good. And, like, reading it today, I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I don't know, I feel like when books get to a certain point, they become irrelevant, and I feel like this one's still relevant. Like, you could still read this, and it totally fit in with our timeline and all of that. So I was very impressed with this book, which means that Jonathan succeeded. I'm giving this I think I'm gonna give this 4 stars. I'm not gonna give it 5 just because I felt like the only thing, which it wasn't even like a big thing, it's just the reason I'm not giving it 5 stars, is I felt like all of the action was, like, pushed to the very end of the book. Not that it was, like, bad or, like, badly or poorly done, like, nothing like that. I just felt like all of the action scenes of them trying to escape, and then, you know, all of that was really towards the middle to the end. Like, I would have liked maybe, like, an action scene, or maybe, like, a flash forward maybe at the beginning of the book to get a little bit more context as to what exactly this world was like. But that's really the only thing. But and then the way that it ended was like the cherry on top. Like if this ended in a really cheesy way, I was gonna be like, no. Like to me, which I don't know if you guys know this, but to me, the ending of a book matters. Like the way you end the book is how I rate it. So if you end it in a way, like for some reason, the more books that I read, the less I like the typical endings, like the typical happy ever afters. Like I am like, okay, like of course it's a happy ever after. But I want something different, something more. And this did that for me. So I really, really liked that book, which means that Jonathan did a fantastic job. I'm very, very proud of his pick, which honestly, I'm not even like surprised that he picked a good book. He always picks really good books. So yeah, I'm not shocked at all. I am very proud of him though. He knows me very well. He knew that I was gonna like that book and he was right. I like anything dystopian like that. It definitely had, okay, this could make or break this book for you, but when I was in middle school, I absolutely loved the Divergent trilogy. I guess it's not a trilogy because there's a book about 4. But anyways, I loved those books. I love those movies. I still love those books and those movies to this day. Like that is the series that really got me into reading. Like really, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And it reminds me a lot of that. Like just the alternate universe kind of thing. Like the dystopian, like it's like futuristic, but at the same time in our time of day. You know what I mean? It's just weird. But amazing. I really, really enjoyed it. And I'm going to shut up now. And I'm going to end this vlog here. Thank you guys so much for watching. And yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I love you guys so, so much. And I will see you in my next video.